Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. My name is Chris. I'm here with Jake.
Hey guys.
And Brian.
What's going on?
Guys, today is a very special day. We got our first Risk of Rain 2 early access update, the Scorched Acres. It is coming at us with a new boss, new enemies, new zone, new items, but perhaps most importantly, a new character. And we're going to talk about all things Scorched Acres. But real quick, we are completing a giveaway. We're at 599 subs as of right now. We're looking for 600 subs before we give away a copy of A Hat in Time on Steam to a random subscriber. All you have to do is be subscribed, so we'd super much appreciate your support. And we have more giveaways coming. You'll probably hear about the next one sometime this week, next week at the latest, as we kind of figure out what we're going to do next. So thank you all for your support, and if you like this video, throw us a like. If you have thoughts on Scorched Acres, throw us a comment. We read them all. We respond to them all. But I think that's it, guys. I think we're ready to talk about this. What do we think about Scorched Acres? Where do we want to start?
I keep wanting to call it Scorched Earth, just saying, but
I keep calling it Frozen Wilds from Horizon Zero Dawn, so you're better than me.
I'd say let's start with the new survivor, Rex.
So Jake is the Rex expert, the Rexpert, if you will.
The Rexpert, because I unlocked him, so I am now an expert. But so Rex is.
Can we just say how close I was? Can we just say it?
You were Chris, for all the listeners out there, Chris was 5 steps away from unlocking Rex, and good old Magma Worm, the ancient magma swimmer, wrecked his day.
Can I just go on the record and say, according to the devs, he is not fun. So,
not fun. Please press F down below for our good boy Chris.
All right, hit me up with some Rex.
So, Rex is a new survivor. One of the cool things about the update is everything is brand new to the Risk of Rain universe. They didn't bring over anything from the original Risk of Rain, and Rex is completely new. He's our lovely flower pot, if anyone has seen him. Completely new survivor, and he has a very different kit from most characters in the game right now. He's very health management based, so some of his attacks do damage to yourself and some of his attacks will heal yourself. He's pretty slow, about as slow as the robot is. He has his left click, his regular shoot is a 3 burst shot, and the last shot will heal you. All of his attacks weaken enemies, and his R ability will plant a seed that will root and heal your allies, but not yourself. So, an interesting character. I would almost put him a little bit into support, about as much as engineer is, because he has a heal that he can deploy, which is pretty cool. I haven't played him enough to really see how well what kind of kit he's looking for. But he's very different from the other characters and pretty interesting to play.
Where is he on the tier list, Jake? Tell me.
No, well, that's a good question. I gotta leave it to the expert.
That's true. They did mess with everyone. We're gonna have to make a new one of those. So, but I mean, I know your impressions are limited, but it seems like he's very different, which is kind of welcome, right?
Yeah. So I was excited. I think in our last Risk of Rain, like our exclusive Risk of Rain video, I had mentioned I want more support-like characters, and this is kind of support-y, like I said. So it's nice to see them going this direction. Like, I think he would be not very much fun solo. I think he's really meant to be played with friends, which I'm glad to see they're embracing that part of Risk of Rain 2.
Well, everyone thinks that, I mean, in my mind, everyone thinks that like the engineer is the ultimate support because he has healing, but he doesn't actually have healing by default. You need the fussling bungus to get the healing.
Right.
This guy has healing by default, which is unique.
Right, and it's on a low cooldown. It's like under 10 seconds, which is not bad at all.
All right. Well, I think we can keep. There's a lot to cover, so I think we can keep moving. I think we should talk about changes to current survivors, of which I think Brian is the expert for this one, because I think the coolest change is probably in the Artificer, and he can cover.
Well, I can't say I'm an expert because I hadn't played the Artificer before the update, so
But
I
he
don't
can
have
hover.
anything to compare it to. But the hover thing is really good.
I mean, I saw you
Almost to the
flying
point
around.
of being OP. Like there is no limit on it. You can just glide around. You can toggle sprint while you're doing it. So it's effectively like having the Hoopoe feather. Or like the Quailer, one of those other things that kind of gives you limited flight, but you can use it all the time with no cooldown. That it really helps on the new map, because it's got a lot of like straight vertical walls that you can't jump over, but if you could get to a high place, you can glide around and you can pretty much pick where you're going to land. Like you have control over it while you're using it. So I would say, I mean, again, not having played the character before, but I would say it's probably a pretty big change.
No, I mean
Being
it
able
looked
to do
like it looked cool. At least on my tier list, I put him pretty low, and he needed movement options, and now he has a very unique movement option.
And he didn't feel like, I remember you guys talking about he felt really slow. Like he didn't, even right out of the box, he didn't feel that slow. So maybe they buffed him a little bit.
And
Yeah,
the hover doesn't go up. It kind of, when you're hovering,
You just kind of like
slowly
glide
descend.
down. It's like a parachute.
it looks like Raymond.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I will mention to anyone that is thinking about jumping off the cliff and trying to hover right before you hit the bottom, you will kill yourself because physics still apply and it's not instantaneous. So I did that almost instantly. That's just my PSA for the day, everyone.
Oh, very cool. Well, I think the only other really, I mean, there's some minor, nerfs, buffs, but I think the only other notable thing is that Malti now comes down in a unique pod.
Or a lack
Or
thereof.
lack
Which is
thereof.
important for the new character.
Yes, it is. Yes, if
The
you're
Although-
the fuel bomb is on the back of your
Yeah.
pod, and
Yeah.
if you don't have a pod, you can't
Pick it
do
up.
it. You can't be a plant.
Yeah.
all right.
The other thing is the mercenary has more invincibility and more movement, essentially, which is good. And I didn't really think he needed additional. I thought he was pretty darn good to begin with, but he's very good now.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to mess around with all that. Well, I think we should keep moving. Should we move on to the new map?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. It reminds me a lot of the game Firewatch. Just kind
Yes,
of
it
like
does.
I like the colors. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
The whole game feels like they update the colors.
Yeah, the whole
which
game looks better.
is
They've
I
changed the fonts for
a
sure.
fresh look. Yeah.
I remember when
Yeah,
PUBG
they
did that,
changed
and
the
we
fonts.
were all like, "Oh, the fonts."
Yeah, but it wasn't as good.
Yeah, that was like the biggest improvement that they made. They changed the font. That was all you got for 6 months.
I like the. I mean, I think we picked up on it. It's basically like 4 big rings or 3 big rings that are kind of hard to navigate. But once you figure out that you have to just hit like the boosters to get from one place
But
to another.
there aren't that many of them. It's not
Yeah.
like the first level where they're all over the place. There aren't that many of them.
It seems like you have to plan your route a little bit, or divide and conquer.
Yeah, and there's like not as many places to move around. I was playing the mercenary there, and like usually you can teleport without any fear of falling off, but 1 or 2 dashes and you're pretty much on the other side of your kind of little ring. So it's pretty easy to fall off those as well.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little smarter about it, which is good.
Unless
I
you can
guess.
fly, in which case you can just do whatever you can do whatever you want.
Excellent point.
But
It reminds me of a Pikmin map.
I see that.
Anyone's got that.
I feel it. So it's presumably like the alternative to the snow level, which I like quite a bit, if that's the alternative. Because it's the 3rd, or at least we got it on the 3rd level. I think it's a 3rd level.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they took the snow
Must
level
be.
out.
No, like you get one or the other. And I actually like the snow level a fair bit, but I like this one too so far.
I don't like this as
Right.
much as the snow level. The movement thing is kind of annoying.
Yeah, the snow one, I think, just happens to be the biggest and most open and easiest to navigate, and this is like very big but
The
much harder
opposite.
to navigate.
It is open, but it's hard. Like if you're the robot, you're screwed because you can't really jump in between.
Yeah. It's closer
Right, that's
to...
the hard part.
Well, maybe this map will justify more movement-heavy characters, you know, like the Huntress.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, I wonder because Rex does not have movement like that. His sprint is just like it's like the robot's dash, but underground and not nearly as fast. So it's interesting they gave this like very open, very easy to find map for someone that has no movement abilities.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about the things that we found on this new map? We saw some new enemies, some new bosses. I like the design. Yeah.
Yeah, the new boss was interesting. I was playing Mercenary again, so I didn't get a good look at him because I was flying around. But what'd you guys think of the new boss?
He was like a bug that got irradiated a few times.
The
Like,
design
he was weird looking.
Yeah, the design was weird.
And
His name is Grove Tender. Does the name fit?
Most of his attacks seem to be with chains, which I don't really like. I don't get how that makes you a grove tender. If you would be more of a pirate or like a sailor type thing if you're throwing chains around, I would imagine. But
Do you know his subtitle, Jake?
No, I didn't catch it.
Bummer. Yeah, I mean, I was honestly very focused on trying to unlock Rex. Like, I was trying to not get hit. That I wasn't.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, I know he like Brian said, he has the chains. He has some weird jumps. I mean, I'm happy. Like, more already off the bat, better than the Ancient Magma Swimmer.
he seemed like he could use a little bit more work. Like they could develop him a little bit more, and he'd be a better boss. I mean, not that he was bad, but he seems like he could use a little bit more development.
He could jump, which none of the other bosses can do that.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
That was cool.
The Imp can teleport.
Yeah, he can teleport.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's cooler than
the Magma
jumping.
Swimmer can fly.
And he can go
Yeah,
underground
but
too.
he's not fun though.
Yes.
Well, he's not. His job isn't to be fun. His job's to be a fucking ancient magma swimmer. That's
true.
you know, it doesn't say fun dude.
He also has these. Grove Tender has, I don't know, they were like energy balls that he shoots at as well, which did quite a bit of damage. So, yeah, interesting new boss.
And we saw there were some enemies with like Gatling guns.
Yeah, the Clay Templars.
Yeah.
I didn't see
No,
those guys.
They have like a Gatling gun that they look like Garza from Naruto. Yes, I'm a nerd.
Gara?
Gara, yeah, Gara. Thank you.
I'm a bigger nerd.
But they carry around these big pods that they shoot, I guess, clay Gatling guns from, and they also can like push you back if you get too close. And they do a shit ton of damage.
They seem like a more advanced version of the thing you get from the Queen's Gland. Those like big lumping guys. They seem like a ranged version of that. Like they definitely are like damage sponges, and they hit hard.
That would be so cool if you could get those as like an item.
As like an ally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of,
You can get him as ghosts. Yeah.
yeah, you could get him. Good call, Brian. Speaking of allies and items and whatnot, I think the last thing I do have one critical question at the end, but the last thing we have to kind of cover are some item updates and new items. I don't know how much we have to say about this yet because it's still relatively new, but I noticed Brian at least got one of the new items, and there's
I
been
like that.
Yeah, what was it?
It was the
mirror, right?
Hold on, I'm looking.
Topaz brooch, the turtle.
Yeah, that one. And you get a shield when you kill someone. So it's pretty good when you get like cornered by a whole bunch of enemies. You can kind of fight your way out. I liked
I
it.
also got the Aegis, which I think is a legendary that gives you a shield when you heal over your maximum health, which is also cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, you did get that.
Yeah,
Um,
and they added 3 chest categories, which I think is also important to mention. They added a damage chest, a health chest, and a utility chest that will drop items within those categories.
it
Uh,
seems like I could be wrong, but I think the trade-off between buying one of those, knowing that you're going to get a certain type of item, is they seem to be low tier. Or
no, because I
much...
got the missile from one of the
Oh,
damage chests.
okay.
So
Alright.
there is a chance, but they are a little more expensive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so basically you can see one of these chests and you know what you're buying. Like, you know if you're going to get a health item or a damage item.
Right, you can kind of shape your build a little bit better than you could before.
Than just, yeah, relying on the shops. Like the pick
Right.
one of 3, yeah.
They don't
Or-
seem to be that common though.
Yeah,
Like,
some
they're not
maps...
uncommon, but they're not entirely. It's not like they're all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a balance thing. I don't know if Jake noticed this, but there were some maps when I would find like 1, and then there were some maps when I found like 5. Like,
Yeah, on Scorched Acres, we just happened to find there was like I found one section, 3 of them all together.
yeah,
So I think
Might
it's
be.
random, but it's good they're not everywhere because they are more expensive.
yeah.
So
All right. Well, my last question about this update is, this is kind of what we're gonna see going forward. These are the updates. This is about what we're gonna get in for each thing. We're gonna get one every roughly 3 months. So, how do you feel about this? Like, is this enough content? Is this good?
Well, it's an
Yeah.
early access game, so anything you get in terms of an update is good.
I think
mean,
this is the way to
realistic-
go. Yeah, if you're in early access, I think you need to do big updates like this because people get bored eventually. And once you drop a big update like this, I mean, if you look at the patch notes, it's a lot of stuff. On top of all the big things, they added new music, new sound effects, and tons of cool stuff.
Yeah, and I will say this is actually on the smaller side. I guess I misspoke a little. So it's kind of like on a TikTok where like we got this one, which is a smaller one. The summer update is going to have everything that we had. So new survivor, new boss, new stage, etc. It's going to have the skills thing open up. Then fall is going to be what we just had. Then winter is going to be the artifacts open up. New stage, bosses, etc. And the 1.0 launch is going to have that final boss and that final stage. But it's also going to have a new survivor.
I don't
Yes,
care
this
so much
is-
about the. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say this is definitely the way to do it. Think back to PUBG, and they like trickle like a text update after 6 months. This is how you do it.
Well, and this is kind of what No Man's Sky did to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
Like they came out, they came out with a bunch of big updates that were really. It showed that they were thinking about the game, and I think that this reflects that as well. Like they're thinking about what they've put out and how they can improve it, even when it's in its like early stages, which is really good.
I agree. I think we're all most familiar with PUBG as far as a game that goes from like early access to 1.0, and this is way better than how PUBG is handling it.
And this is 3 guys.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Shout out to Chris for the new banging tunes also.
yeah, the tunes are pretty good.
They are good, and the boss sound effect is good.
I'm more excited for the new like the artifacts and that stuff versus new survivors and stuff like that. I think that's going to add a lot to it. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's also important that you keep your audience interested when you're in early access, especially.
Yeah,
And they're doing a good job. You guys are doing a good job.
Sweet.
good job, Hoppo.
Hoppo, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Well, I think we're good then, unless you guys have any other pressing matters, right? All right.
No, I don't- yeah.
Brian, why don't you tell everyone what they should do? Should they hit that teleporter?
Well, yeah, smash that teleporter if you will. And by teleporter we mean that MF like. If you like the video, of course. If you didn't like it, you can click the dislike button and then tell us why you didn't like it, preferably in, verbose language and with profanities. Bonus points for profanities. Down in the comments section there. Or, if you liked it and you want to tell us you liked it, you can do that there too. And like Chris said, we're just waiting on that one sub, and we'll probably get it pretty soon. But if you want to be potentially that one sub that's going to get a hat in time, then go ahead and click that subscribe button, because if you watch this far, you probably like the video, and we got a veritable shit ton more stuff like this here on the Cohesive Friendship Unit channel. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
Thank you, Brian. We'll catch you guys next time.